First time I met Peter Chen was at the Comedy Store on the Sunset Strip, the world-famous Comedy Store in Hollywood. It was quite a night I'll never forget. I was actually the MC of the show, and Peter was the first comic that I ever brought up at the Comedy Store. He had a great set. I remember. I was a little nervous. I didn't really do much time at all, and he stepped right in and won the crowd over, and it was great.
All Orientals like to save face. I always lose face, which means I get no respect.
I'm being Asian. I like to save face, but every time I try to save face, I end up losing face. So now I'm just going to lose my face, which also means I get no respect.
My name is Peter Chen.
Hi. My name is Peter Chen.
Hi. Hi. Oh, thank you.
When you lose your face, you lose respect. I can't get no respect, so I lose my face.
Peter Chen? Yeah, I think he's a doorman at the Comedy Store. I'm a millionaire, so I tipped him pretty good.
When I first met Peter, he was working at the door, and he led me to my seat not knowing that I was a comic also.
Peter is very funny. I like his Chinese driver jokes. I've been on his cable show, and if something goes wrong, he just apologizes to no end.
When he's a really good opener, and he has a lot of interesting perceptions of comedy. He has his own his own point of view.
He comes out practically every show, and he's like a team player. He's totally flexible. He goes up at the beginning, the middle, the end, wherever. He gives me no problems. He just totally fits in.
Ability to hang and get it right and keep doing it until he's a paid regular.
For Peter Chen, his unappreciated genius often comes out in the form of heckling in the audience, but it doesn't affect him. It's like water off a duck's back.
I've known him for a long, long time, between La Jolla and Hollywood's Comedy Store.
I want to do comedy, not because I have to, but because I want to. When I first started doing comedy 15 years ago, my relatives and my friends were laughing at me. They were laughing at me and say I'm crazy. Well, maybe I am crazy, but if I stopped now, I would have wasted 15 years of my life. I quit my job, sold my condo, lost my girlfriend because I wanted to do comedy. I don't blame her. I would have left me too. So now I'm taking odd jobs here and there to survive.
I started doing comedy in 1988, and I see Peter and all over the clubs, and there was a group of us. We would all meet somehow at the same clubs, and we'll go to one spot, do 10, 15 minutes, then follow each other and go to another spot. Back then, it was kind of easy to get on stage because comedy wasn't as popular on cable like it is now. So you had a lot of clubs popping up, and you're able to get time.
1980, I was teaching in college. The students were laughing off their chairs, and I was teaching a computer class, which was supposed to be boring and technical. Little did I know, I was writing and telling jokes. Making a decision to become a comedian, to do something totally different from what I was doing, took me 6 years and the death of my beloved mother. 1986, I started going to open mics. Back then, comedy was at a high. Clubs were opening up and spreading like wildfire all over the country.
It's tougher for comics today because there's so many comics who want to get up on stage that you have to bring friends. People have to buy drinks. It's very involved just to get up on stage.
I mean, how would anybody know how difficult it is to be a comedian and how much personal sacrifice that you have to make to do what I do? It is not easy. A lot of pain and suffering goes into it. There's obstacles and limitations that I have to overcome. Stand-up comedy is the most difficult of all solo performing arts.
Getting stage time becomes very, very difficult.
And then you have to bring audience. Why don't the clubs provide the audience? Why do the comedians have to bring the audience?
It's hard because you got to bring all your friends to the show, and you can only do that so many times, and they've heard you before. They don't want to come and see you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all these different days, and spend their hard money to see you over and over and over again.
I have to write my own jokes, direct myself, and perform in front of total strangers. I give myself feedback and rewrite the jokes. Most of the time, I have to try the jokes several times before they work and repeat this process over and over until I get a routine I call an act. I made enormous sacrifice in order to do comedy. When people are staying in their nice and cozy home, I'm out there in the cold, in the rain, in the heat, standing in the street corner waiting to get on stage. Even my own family calls me a street bum. They told me to stop, and they laughed at me, asking, "Are you still doing it? And why?"
One way that you get booked is to contact somebody who runs a room.
12 noon and sit outside all day until 7 o'clock when you can sign up for 20 spots. And then you get 5 minutes.
People really need to see what really goes on and how hard comics really have to work just for 3 minutes, just for 5 minutes of your time.
A juggler can juggle things, or a magician can use his props, but a comedy, you're just up there with you and the audience.
It was very, very funny, and all these years later, he still is.
Peter's working out his stuff. I see him all the time. He's really consistent in his performances.
And the thing that I really like about watching Peter is he's very consistent. The first time I saw Peter, he was performing in front of an empty room. There were maybe 3 or 4 other comics. It was probably 1:30 in the morning. But he was very dedicated, and he was passionate about his material, and he did it from the beginning to the very end, taking all of the pauses as if it were a real performance in front of a live audience.
Peter's got a good commitment. He's very committed to the art. He's been doing it so long, like myself, and he's very committed to what he wants to do.
But that's nothing compared to the stress, pain, and suffering due to the obstacles and hardship on the comedy scene. Back then, I waited 6 to 8 hours in order to get on stage. Now comics are waiting up to 15 hours. I went there at 6 in the morning, and already 9 comics were there before me, and we waited all day. During the day, several lists of names changed over, and arguments and even fights had happened. At 8 p.m., we're allowed to go into the club and wait some more. When it was time to perform, I was hungry and tired. But we still have to be funny. When we go home at 2 a.m., we cannot sleep from the adrenaline, and we have to wake up early the next day to go to work. Repeat all this night after night, week after week, year after year. And when we are not funny, we get booed and we bomb.
It's not always a supportive, creative environment. The comics aren't always ready to help each other out or give each other material because it's very, very, very competitive.
Comics are heckling each other, actually trying to bring you down because they're competing for the stage time.
Even when you're on the list, you're next doesn't mean you're next. They put their friends on instead, and I get bumped, or my time gets cut short. It happens to me many, many times. I would get the last spot, and the MC wastes so much time before he brought me up that when I got on, the clubs are switching the lights out as I performed to empty tables and chairs. What are you going to do? Go home and cry? I did that many times. But the next day, I'm back waiting in line. Asian people don't like to watch other Asian performers, especially comedians. They tell me they would rather see black, white, Jewish, or Italian comics. It takes a lot of courage and passion to continue. I'm giving my heart and my soul to comedy.
I've never been to China. I'm born in Hong Kong and, been here like over 20 years.
When he comes to the club, it encourages me because of his dedication, his ambition to the business. And he's just a genuinely good person, and he's good to have around. And it's always good to see Peter, always.
First time I met Peter was at a clean room. There were children there. And when I saw, oh my gosh, there's children, it's like, all of a sudden the pressure on me was to be clean. And when I watched Peter do it, he made it look effortless.
I remember Peter, and I have done the Comedy Store many, many times. And then when I started here, Peter encouraged me very much and kept me going here. And then I watched the 20th anniversary of the Comedy Store special. If you watch it, you can see Peter in there.
I'm an American citizen now, but people still think I'm an Asian guy.
Trust him that whatever he's doing on stage is funny. And for a Chinese guy, he's a good guy.
He really is an inspiration, and I even forget he's Asian, to be honest.
Being a Latin comic, I understand how tough it is in this city to work as a comedian, and I think it's great that Peter's out there.
Natural, very loose. You don't even know he's doing a set.
Part of Peter's routine is I lose face, and many comics have used that line 3, 4, or 5 comics down the road that later in the show when they get into a spot and they use Peter's line, and they get tremendous laughs from it. And Peter has no idea. He should be getting royalties.
Thank you very much. My name is Peter Chen. I lose my face. My name is Peter Chen. I lose my face. Thank you very much. I have been on too long. Thank you very much. My name is Peter Chen. I lose my face. Thank you very much. My time is cut short. Thank you very much. My name is Peter Chen. I lose my face. My name is Peter Chen. I lose my face. My name is Peter Chen. I lose my face. Thank you very much. My name is Peter Chen. I lose my face. Thank you. I gotta go. Thank you very much. You guys be fun. Thank you. I lose face. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Peter Chen. Thank you. I lose face. Thank you.
He'll be trying to impress you with what hard work this is, trying to appeal to the Asian work ethic. Don't believe a word he says. Stand-up comedy is the easiest job in the world. It's fantastic. All you have to do is talk and make smart remarks for a living. I love it, and so does Peter.
So it's a bizarre business. It's unlike anything else.
You just gotta hang in there.